So over the years, I have noticed that there are certain questions that get asked again and again about the observation process. So I want to respond to four of those in this presentation. You may want to pause the video after each one and take some notes. So the first question that often gets asked, how can I get beneath the surface of the text with my observations? Well, let me suggest that there are four things that you can pay attention to that will help you go deeper below just a surface level reading. The first of those is when you're examining the content of a verse, pay particular attention to matters of how and why. So keep those two questions before you. Second, pay attention to the logical connections, not just the logic of the events, but the logic of the way the person is telling the story. So think about structural relationships here. Third, pay attention to the things that aren't said. This can include things like unstated assumptions that the writer has, or information that the writer does not supply, or gaps and silence in the stories or in the arguments that the writer is making, or even the clear implications of a passage that are left unstated by the writer. So pay attention to things that are not said as well as to what is said. And then fourth, spend some time with the quote unquote problematic. If there are apparent difficulties in the passage, these are often the points that will provide rich avenues of exploration. These could be things that seem like tensions or contradictions, could be loose ends of a narrative that aren't resolved. It could be surprises. You'll find those a lot in the parables. It could be something that seems apparently impossible or unlikely. Most of these things turn out not to be problematic, but invitations to a deeper encounter with the passage. So that deals with the first question, getting below the surface of the passage. A second question is, do all of my observations have to be profound? And the simple answer to that is no. Most of your observations and questions will be somewhat routine, serving to record accurately the various bits of information that the writer is presenting. Third question, and this is really important. How can I be sure that my observation is an observation and not just an opinion? Well, an observation or a fact is something that is relatively certain. If you can lay your observation out there and imagine that 90% of careful, dispassionate readers of this same verse would agree that your statement about the passage is true, based solely on their reading of the biblical text, then you can consider that you have made an observation. Otherwise, it would simply be a possibility or even an interpretation. Fourth question, when I'm expressing my observations, how can I avoid just repeating the words of the biblical writer and yet not stray too far from the language of the text? Remember, an observation is a statement that you as the reader are making about the text, not just the words of the text itself. It's very helpful to pinpoint exactly what the focus of your observation is. What is it that you're seeing? Is it scope? Is it time? Is it agent? Is it manner? Is it translation? Is it cause, purpose, character, etc.? And again, the strategic relationships will help you here. You may find it helpful to just express your observations with words like, I see that, or I notice that, or I realize that. So I hope that this will help you answer some of those questions, those commonly asked questions about observation.